the maestro himself, the righteous one, Charles Little. Man, it's just amazing to see how you blend with any situation.
Well,
Whether it's whether it's the prayer breakfast, whether it's a wedding, whether it's a funeral, you come A
yeah,
game.
I played
You don't
all
miss a
those.
beat.
Yeah,
You
appreciate that.
prepare, and you demand out of your singers that they prepare.
That's right, the
And
best.
do it by phone. Or how do you do that? How do you
Well,
YouTube? What do you do?
well, I practiced on the telephone since COVID came. I used to teach piano in my home. Always had like 10 to 12 piano students in my apartment, but not at the same time. But I taught there before COVID. When COVID came, I let anyone except the custodian and the pest control come to my home. I would not let anybody come in. So I had to figure out how to teach piano. So I said, the telephone. So we take the telephone, put it on a rod, a tripod rather, and we go on FaceTime. So, and the piano student has one by their seat. I can see their torso up, and they're facing the piano. And I can see them, and if I need to write something, I reverse the image on my cell phone so they can see me writing and bring it back. So I can see them, they can see me. There's no gas wasted. I give them more time. I'm the cheapest teacher in town. I don't charge $20 an hour. I teach all my students how to read and play by music. It's
Speak,
required.
Speaking of students, ah, ha, ha, ha.
I hear you.
Let's get to it about those students from Europe, New York, and all over the world. You've got students. I want you to name me, and now like today at the Gospel Explosion, two of the main groups, your students, Mario Webb,
Yes, Mario.
Chad Higgins. Let's
Chad
talk.
Higgins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Let's go deep.
And
Let's
there
go
was
to New
some.
York. What's the student you have now currently in New
Well, I
York?
had one fairly outstanding student. She's from Versailles, Kentucky. Her name is Tammy Bradley. Tammy, I taught her piano for about 4 years. She was a very, very introverted person. She wore pants and she always went around just sad, sad, sad. But she was a good student. When she got in the 12th grade, she was asked to sing at a wedding. I didn't know she could sing. And she sang the Lord's Prayer opera style. And then she went to Kentucky State and went on from there. She got a master's degree. She's a professional opera singer with the Metropolitan Opera House in New York City, and she's been with them for about maybe 8 or 9 years now. Highly respected. She goes all over the United States and she sings opera in any type of music. She's excellent, and she still plays quite well.
Well, let's go where the Mayflower landed, Boston. And we got some folks over in Boston ringing some bells too.
How you know about that?
Don't worry about that. I do my research.
Okay, I have another young student. His name is Kevin Harris. His father. I taught him trumpet at Lexington Traditional School. I taught at Lexington Traditional for 29 years as the band director there. Well, Kevin was a student of mine. When Kevin was in the seventh grade, his father passed, and his mother wanted to take his mind off of his passing and to do something else, to gear it another direction. So she asked me if I would teach him piano. So I said yes. So I had Kevin in the seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade playing the piano, and he sings also. When he went to Morehead College, he knew so much theory, he bypassed his theory because he knew all the theory they were going to teach him. He went on and majored in jazz piano at Morehead, and then he went to New England Conservatory of Music. We didn't have money to send him, but he got scholarships and he finished on time. And then he got a job at the New England Conservatory of Music. He's still there. He's assistant professor of jazz piano at the New England Conservatory of Music. His name is Kevin Lemuel Harris from Paris, Kentucky. And he travels all the world giving concerts. He goes to China. China brings him there every year. He talks like 3 or 4 thousand students at a time. He told me where he goes is the big it's like a coliseum. There's so many students, they have a coliseum for their auditorium. He said, Miss Little, they come in there, you would never, unless your eyes was open, you would never know they were there. They are so quiet, very respectful. When you ask the question, no one says anything. This is a 3 or 4 thousand students, and no one says anything. They want to say something, they raise your hand, they bring the microphone, talk. They're very, very, very well disciplined there. And Kevin is an outstanding musician. He's a jazz pianist, and he has his own students. He teaches on Saturdays. He plays in nightclubs in Boston and New York. He has an apartment in New York. He's there all the time, gigging. The man is bad. He's bad. He's from Paris, Kentucky.
Now, let
He went to Bryan Station High School
now
in Lexington Traditional.
let me ask you about some of the songbirds that you work with. And very talented. Who would you put up there in the top 5 that you could comparably put against anybody? Well, top 3.
Oh, so many. Well, we had 2 at a program last night. Sandra Sissy Williams. Sandra's one outstanding vocalist in Lexington, Kentucky, and I've been playing for her for about 40 years, ever since she was in high school.
I think I know her.
Yes, Sandra.
Brother's names.
We call it Sissy for short.
Yeah.
And Charlotte Cox Thompson. She's a minister now, and she's a soprano. She sings all types of music. She has a group called the Charlotte's Web, and another Charlotte's Web sings popular music. Then she has one sing. No, it's another group called Charlotte's Web and the Morning Glories. The Morning Glories sing gospel music, and Charlotte's Web sing the soul music and jazz music. There's so many of them.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask you. I want to, because you have you almost, we call you the maestro. Now we'll call you, you've made yourself the maestro. Okay. Believe it or not, you can never get away from that. If you want to stop playing music tomorrow, your legacy will be as a maestro, one that everybody can summons to and get what they need when they're looking for something to actually showcase and demonstrate the curation of gospel music.
Yeah.
Now, we have followed some greats like yourself, some young bucks that are coming up that you done taught, that lead these big mega churches. But one thing we want to know is that are those ingredients. When you hear the soul and spirit of gospel music, what's your interpretation of that?
The soul, gospel,
the soul of gospel and the music. Spirit of gospel music. We talking about you. Oh, it's all about you right now. The soul and the spirit of gospel music. Let's do it this way.
Okay.
When you do a song, to bring it out and cultivate it, to illustrate it, it's got to be in your soul for it to be right.
That's right. That's right.
So, what's that mean to you? Can you have a bad day and be able to deliver?
Oh, I can have a bad day. Or
do you have to summons God to trigger?
I learned to put feelings aside many times. Usually when I play, I can't have a bad mood when I perform. I just get in the right spirit and just put the sad part to the side and do what I need to do, and then come back to the sad part later on.
You ask God to give you the spirit to trample down the bad thoughts, the bad feelings, the sadness?
When I wake up in the morning, I thank God for letting me wake up, because he didn't have to do it. When I go to bed, I thank God for letting me go to bed, because he had to do that. I just thank God all the time for the things he's given me and the things he's permitted me not to do. And I just ask God to give me strength all the time. Even when I work with people, when I work with choirs all the time. I try to get them in the spirit of what the song means and putting themselves in the song, put their feelings to the side. Sometimes I play songs I don't even like, but I do the best I can. And gospel music is more just a title. Gospel music is a conclave of what we call spirituals. Those are songs that brought the slaves through, compared to soul music. Soul music is more dealing with love and emotions. Spiritual is dealing, and gospel is dealing with heavenly calling, religious texts of that nature. So I do what I can when I can.
There you get it, okay? And sometimes they so slick and seasoned, Ricky, we got to trick them to get it. The soul and spirit of gospel music, brother, the maestro, Charles Little. Soul and spirit of gospel music. Let's get into it with the incomparable Hezekiah Walker. I want to ask you, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, sir. Good.
Coming from big places, big things, us as Kentuckians are so proud of the opportunity to have you here, and especially for a good cause. In the spirit of soul, music, gospel, conversations, I'd like to ask you, brother, how did you become so known in all areas internationally, from music enthusiasts in Central Kentucky, but in contemporary music, etc., jazz? I mean, how was you able to accomplish that? What ingredients did it take for you to have that kind of success?
That's a good question. You use the word ingredients. I think whatever you put into your music have to be able to reach every culture. in every genre of music. And so I took my time. Whenever I write songs, whenever I put out music, I take my time because I just don't want to put it out because it's in my head or it's in my heart. But I put it out because I feel that this is what the people need. This is what the community need. This is what the culture need.
The soul and spirit of gospel music. And you were right there as I guess, a navigator and an innovator. What ingredients does it take to have that kind of success and that kind of wherewithal captured in such one person?
Well, I think, to answer your question correctly, the scriptures, the Bible talks about what comes from the heart reaches the heart. And so what happens is that when you give something from the heart, it goes directly to the heart. And so again, I think most times when we kind of, especially those of us that are musical, we can just kind of write music in our sleep. But when it comes from your heart and not just from your head, it reaches the heart. Because what comes from the heart reaches the heart.
Okay, we seen you sprint up here like you the track runner for the Olympics this year. After greeting people in a meet and greet, step down ready to a call of duty, knowing that Central Kentucky is benefiting in a big way for needy folks. But at the same time, there's never enough from guys like you that cover people with a blessing of the gospel. You feel you're a minister of music, a Pied Piper that's righteous, or gospel artist?
I would have to say I am a minister of the gospel. And gospel encompasses everything that relates to Jesus Christ. So whatever relates to Jesus Christ, that's what I am.
Funny thing about the inner circles of pastors and ministers of music. There are some we call double-barrel shotgun preachers that have the wherewithal and talent to preach and sing too. Well, that's what we get from you. You're more of a traveling double-barrel shotgun preacher. Do you feel like you sometimes have a crowd out there and you've inspired them and don't want to let them go?
Of course. I mean, that's what we do as a part of singing and preaching, especially preaching part. The preaching part of it, well, I can't just say that because the singing part of it too. Sometimes when you sing and when you capture them and you're getting to them, you want to keep on singing to their hearts and to their spirits. Same way with preaching. Preaching, as we preach, again, go back to the scriptures, it says, be not afraid of their faces. So as we preach, we're looking and we're watching the faces, and we can tell if you are enjoying the message and if it's reaching you. So, of course, when we feel that it's reaching you, we like to stay there. Can't hold it long, but, we like to hold on to it.
Now, I'm going to ask you a little secret to the world, but everybody in Kentucky knows you have a big connection to Kentucky. Now, that's the people who are pastors and in music, etc. Jason Claiborne just came through here and know you guys. How did you guys connect, and how was that opportunity for you guys to collaborate and make such gumbo gospel soup?
Well, years ago, I was privileged to go to the Thomas Dorsey convention, and those of you that know Thomas Dorsey, he's considered the father of gospel, and so I was privileged to go to that convention years ago. I was a young man at the time, and I met Jason's mom.
Yes.
Of course, she's a wonderful songwriter, wonderful musician. That was before Jason was born, and we became very close friends at the convention. And every year we were looking very forward to seeing each other and just having a good time with each other. And Jason was born, and we was family ever since.
Well, I didn't know that. They've been doing some research that it's two-pronged, basically. And his dad, well, it's three-pronged. Let me ask you something. Do you feel like to get to where you at, of course, to be a righteous man, you struggle with the devil. And it can be the simplest thing as you honking at somebody that's in front of you that's not moving in traffic. Does that throw you off when you're writing, if you had a bad day? or some artists, gospel artists, are inspired from falling and getting back up. Their spirits.
Well, my writing comes from a plethora of things. It comes from having a bad day, it comes from having a good day, you know. But most of my songs come from watching the culture and watching what the people need. And I keep my ear to the street, I keep my eye to what's happening all around me, and that's how the songs come to me.
Well, knowing you have a show, amazingly, I want this to come over in this interview. You have a show, you got to change. You ran in the building, met all these folks. I want to ask you 2 more questions. And I want you to think, if you got to think twice before you answer them, because we're intrigued. One of them being, you know, when you look at the fan base that attracts and navigates to gospel music like no time before, is that to sever those complexities that was in before of what you could do on the stage or do in the church? Do you think that, how do you feel like that social media and streaming and all the avenues of gospel music now to the world, how did they discord and kind of control before artists could do certain things? Mm-hmm. And you want to minister to the people. How do you feel like that cord was broke? Because that's happened right in your generation.
You know, I'm not really sure. You know,
that's not really cords. Let's say,
okay, I was going to say
cuffs off. Take the cuffs off so you can get loose and get everybody here, not minister to the same people, the choir, basically.
Okay, so now I totally understand what you're saying. Yes, I think social media, you know, that it was a good thing, you know, because it opened us up to a different group of people that would only listen to gospel if they came to church, or if they happen to come to church on Easter, or especially in our culture, you know, we listen to gospel, you know, on certain times. Easter, we come to church on Mother's Day, you know, and then of course we come to church on Christmas, during Christmas time, and then some do come to church on New Year's Eve, and so that was the only time that our music can kind of get into the ear of a non-churchgoer. But now with social media, we can get into the ears of every and anybody, and not just in the States, but across the world.
Well, I'm going to say one more thing. I love you already, not as an artist, but you as a person out here, as a righteous man that has really said some things from his soul. We didn't give you time to prompt or nothing. Mm-hmm. And if we could take your DNA and your GPS abilities, man, we need to give that to anybody that has talent, because talent has to be mixed with the ability to sacrifice and the willpower to get there.
All right. So the soul and spirit of gospel music is really what comes from back to the heart. The soul spirit it's all of that is connected to the heart. And, you know, like I said earlier, what comes from the heart, it reaches the heart. So everything that you do, you got to do from your heart. I believe that everybody has a measure of gifts and talents. And it's all depending upon what you do with it. And if you take your gift and if you take your talent and you lend it and you give it from the heart, it's going to reach the heart. And when it reaches the heart, the Bible says that your gift will make room for you and it will put you before great men.
Hallelujah. Thank you so much.